Day Trading Radio presents a Briguy trading production.
Good evening, traders. This is Briguy here with Briguy's Tools of the Trade, and I want to say a good evening to all those joining us here at daytradingradio.com. And tonight we have a special guest who will be joining us, one of the members of Day Trading Radio, and that is Kumar, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about bot trading. So, bot trading. Now, there's a lot of different angles to take on this, and we're not exactly planning to cover all the spectrums of bot trading. We're not going to present a comparison of all the different products that are out there, but we do want to make ourselves available to you. So if you are in the members chat room and you'd like to ask a question of myself or of Kumar, then please feel free to do so. You can reach us in private message, or you can ask outright in the main chat room, and I'll do my best to keep up with the questions as they come scrolling by, along with the conversations that I'm sure will ensue, as I've already seen you guys asking about the dancing girls, and unfortunately they've taken the night off. So, bot trading. All your trades belong to us. You might have heard that phrase in another version. All your cities belong to us. Does that ring a bell with any of you trading nerds out there? Well, we'll see how it goes. So if you give me a second, I'm going to bring up on the screen the broadcast here for what we're going to be showing you. And hopefully Kumar can take a look at what's being broadcast and know that that's there, and then I'll give him a call. And we'll see if we can get this to work here. I saw my face on the screen.
Good evening.
Good evening, Kumar. Good to hear from you. Welcome to the show. And let me just give a little shout out into the chat room there and ask you folks if you are able to confirm that you can hear Kumar. And I did hear you say good evening, but nothing after that, so I don't know if you...
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, so we're getting confirmation there. Sounds awesome.
Clear.
And everybody's putting ones in the room. I didn't ask anybody to put a one. I don't know. One means louder, or
Standard. No, one means yes.
One means yes.
Yes.
I thought two means yes.
2 means no.
I thought 0 means no.
5 means very loud.
5 means very loud. All right. So if you can see from your machine, I don't know if you have the broadcast up on another machine.
I do.
Hopefully you can see that I've zoomed into just that one window that you have.
Yes.
So if you have another chart you want to show, as long as you fit it within that same region,
yep,
we'll be in good shape. All right. So I know that a couple days ago, I don't know if it was over the weekend or last week, but you mentioned that there were some conversations taking place about auto trading, bot trading, and you had some things you'd like to weigh in on that with. So maybe we could start by asking you what experiences that you've had with auto trading.
Well, I've been trying to develop a bot for myself.
Okay.
And that's still work in progress.
Okay. Now, is this based on having something that mimics your own style?
No, it's got nothing to do with my style.
Okay. So just following.
My style of trading is shown right there.
The volume profile.
The volume profile. Unfortunately, I do not have the capability to translate that into an auto trader.
Okay.
It's too complex.
Okay. So what is it you'd like to talk about in regards to auto trading?
Well, as you said in somewhere you posted conversation, there's been a lot of chat about bots in the futures room. Several people are trying to make their bots. One prominent person was Doc Speed. I don't know whether he's still a member. But yesterday, Doc Lens, I believe, posted a link to his site. He has got his own site where he's running a bot.
Okay.
And there are others who always often talk about bots, but I haven't seen any evidence of that. A few months ago, when Doc Speed started talking about the bot, he had shared some of his information, what he was looking at with me. I have no knowledge about what others are doing. I'd also seen a bit of Doc Speed's work at something, what's that place called? Big Mike's Trading.
Okay.
So anyway, what happened
let's try not to promote too many other websites
No,
on
I'm
the
not
show if we
promoting
can.
anybody. I'm just...
I know, you start
No.
shouting them out there and folks are going to start going to
Well-
another website before we know it.
No. Well, I use tools, and I think it's only fair to tell people what tools I use.
Okay.
I mean, as I said, Doc Lens posted Doc Speed's link there. So is it promoting? I don't know. So I'm not going into that. So
Good.
my thing is just very limited, informational, if at all.
Okay.
And as to the promoting of the site is concerned, because, well, let's leave that for now.
Okay.
Last week, when people were talking in the futures room about bots, Pop29, can I use the members' names here? Is that okay, or am I promoting members too?
Nobody's chimed in and said otherwise, so I guess that's all right. I would say just use your own discretion if you feel like you're revealing something private versus something that you want everyone to hear about.
All right. So Pop29 said to whoever he was talking to, what about my 830 bot? Now, what's an 830 bot? There are a couple of people here who use 830 moving average crosses. So when people say 830, basically they are talking about 830 moving average cross. So from there I got an idea, well, maybe I should just show to people here what is sort of entailed in making a bot. How does one go about constructing a bot, a kind of thing. And 830 I thought was a simple enough exercise to go through that. So that's why I asked you that, if I could get on the Viewer Tool show and show something of that.
Okay.
So that is where it's really started. Now, having said that, there are some people in DTR members who use 830. Anything I say is not necessarily a reflection on anybody's trading style. So I just that's a disclaimer. I did last week have a chat with Jay Galt about his 830 system, and he told me what all he was doing and how he does, to the extent he could, in a brief through the chat room say this is what he does. So just wanted to see what he does there. Obviously, when you look at the chart manually, it's very different from looking at the chart through the eyes of the bot, because bot is just a program. What you can say, okay, this is not a good place to trade for whatever reason, you cannot program that, oh, this is not a good place. For a programming, you need to be precise. Anyway, let me go straight to what the 830 is. All right. Now this is price action from 2 days ago, Friday. 512 was Sunday, 512, when was 12? 512 was Sunday, yeah. So this is Friday's price action. And why this Friday? Because I just did it on Saturday and I had sort of made some, as you can see, there are lines here and there are some arrows here. So I'm going to start with Friday's action. Here is this circle here, and here is, okay, these are, the red line is 30 EMA and the green line is 8 EMA. Right here is a cross where the green line crosses above. So in a certain paradigm, this would be a signal to go long.
Okay. Now, what do you mean when you say in a certain paradigm?
The simplest way is to say when the moving averages cross up, you go long. When they cross down, you go short.
Okay.
That's the simplest paradigm.
And can you get a bot to follow that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you questions that are maybe considered basic, but just for the folks that are watching, if someone's not familiar with...
Ask away, ask away.
Okay, go ahead. So what else would come in as a factor, you think, with a...
Okay, this is where it gets complicated.
Okay.
To program something, a moving average cross is very easy to do. Where do the problems start? Well, to give you an example of that is, I have some strategies already configured here. Let me show you, enable one here to give an example. All right. This chart goes back 10 days. So what you see in the green lines and red lines are all the crosses, 830 crosses, either up or down. Greens ones are moving averages going the fast one over the slow one, and the red lines are the other way around.
Okay.
So there's lots of lines, and this is one of the things I asked Jay Galt was, how far back does he go? He said, well, as far back as it is necessary. And he draws all these lines on his chart. He shows his chart very clearly what his, where his crosses are, and he posts them, and of course he uses other things like fibs and all those things. But you can see there are so many lines here now. I was a member of another trading group, and I'm not going to promote them, some time back, and they had this concept of naked cross. The naked cross being this cross here on Friday, this area here is when we opened on Sunday. So if we ignore this part of the price action here,
okay,
on Friday this would be a naked cross, meaning the cross has not been covered. It's the same sense we use VPOC. For example, today's VPOC on a volume profile chart here, well, this is a weekly profile, but would be considered naked cross, a naked VPOC. So this would, on Friday, this was a naked cross, but the price fell below that, then it became a covered cross. Now some people then remove the covered crosses, and some keep them as they are, however they want to trade, which is sort of part of the paradigm. How do you want to trade? One of the things I could do here is, let me see, if I were to do that to data series, if I were to reduce the number of days to, let's say, 2 days to start with. All right. I reduced the number of days to 2 days, and I think I lost my reference point. Where is my reference point? Oops. Oh, no. It's beyond 2 days now. Oh, boy.
So all your notes went away. That's kind of weird.
Let's go back to, I was trying to reduce the number of lines, but it hasn't helped. Okay.
All right. So let me just follow you for a second. Where you have that circle is the 830 cross.
Here is a cross, and there is a red line going right there.
Yes.
But actually, because this is an up cross, the line which is significant is the green line.
Right.
So the cross is here and the green line is there. above that,
Okay.
well above that.
Okay.
And this is where the problems start. I'm going to remove this thing, have
Okay.
to remove this.
Okay.
Why is this a problem? The cross is on this bar here, and it is detected by the software on after this bar is closed. So here is the cross on this bar. So when this bar closes, the detection is declared as soon as this bar starts.
Okay.
And that is where one would then go long. So if I were to draw a line, I wouldn't be able to draw a line here. It doesn't make any sense because line is not relevant, because ultimately I'm going to take the trade, and it depends on where the next bar starts. And if that is close enough, I may get a good entry. If it is not close enough, I won't get a good entry, which I will sort of illustrate in this block here.
Well, can I ask a question?
Here is a cross going up. Now, the moving averages are basically drawn on the chart is drawn point by point. These lines are dots connected over a period of as the chart moves on. So we got a cross here, but it's actually on this after the completion of this bar. So I would be going long here, and guess what happens? I go long here, and boom, it comes down here. And then I get another one here, which is going down. And if I have the strategy of go long here and go short here, I would be able to get short on this bar, because here is the thing, cross is detected here. The software will declare it here and end up by going long either on this bar or on this bar. So here I'm sort of, as soon as I go long, this market goes down, and as soon as I go short, this starts going up. So both these trades are, in that sense, losing trades.
Okay.
Now, if I were trading manually, perhaps based on other criteria, I may not want to go long here. I might be just looking back, okay, what's the overall trend? Is it going up or down, or is there something going on here that I need to be cognizant of? I may not take these trades. I might just let go. And what is this trade? It's the 10 o'clock here, something, and this is 10:30. So there must have been some news at 10 o'clock, and this shot up and very promptly
Sure.
came down. There are people out there who recommend that don't use a bot on the news. So they will either shut off before 8:30 Eastern, or 10 o'clock if the news is, they will stop and then start the bot later on.
Okay.
Now, this is a 5-minute chart. Obviously, not a very good time frame for trading using a bot. Smaller time interval is much better, and better to use non-time based bars like tick charts or range charts. You have a much better control over that. You don't get these wild kind of swings, and the ability to get in and get out of the trade is
Right.
can be more controlled.
Now you
by the
you
program.
have a 5-minute chart on the screen.
So that's one aspect of why the bots don't really work.
Kumar?
If the bots were so easy to make, everybody would be having a bot, and we wouldn't be struggling. We'll all be making money about it. And it's because most of the time the bots don't really work. You can trade exactly the same trade, but that trade may not work on the bot. Here is another issue with the bot. On Friday, this was a crossover here, and you could have taken this trade. It would have worked out. Now this is here at 1624, but the reversal was at 20.25. So that is 4 points here. So you really have to wait 4 points to enter into that trade. Wouldn't it be nice to have I mean, it would be nice to have at least got out of those 4 points, got 3 points. Some people would scale for these 3 points. They would have taken 3 scales. I've seen people take a scale after every point. So there would have been 3 scales. So this is one of inherent disadvantages of moving bots. God. This is a disadvantage of bots which are constructed on moving averages, because moving averages, like most other indicators, are lagging indicators. That's the problem. But of course, if there is a trend, they usually work okay, except there is no way to, or you need another way to specify what's the trend. You need to be able to define a trend separately, so that then you say, okay, you might have, I don't know. Okay, let's see, what can I do with this one? Let's see, let's put a moving average here. Let's put a simple moving average here.
Hey, Kumar, do you have your ears on?
SMA.
Kumar?
Everybody's favorite moving average, 50. Let's put a 50 moving average. Well, this is not very good. So you could have a criteria like, for example, here was a cross, but it was below the 50 period moving average. This yellow line I've drawn is a 50 period moving average. So you could think that because the 50 period moving average is trending down and the cross is below 50 period moving average, you would not take that trade. In which case, you might have missed this move, but you didn't get into this choppy trade at all. It just kept you out. But then you see further down, here is the cross here, but it's still up below this thing, and then you will wait till here, till the price goes above 50 period moving average somewhere, and then you go long. So you can add more criteria to the bot to eliminate what may be called false positives.
Kumar, are you hearing me at all?
Somebody
trying to get his attention.
What's going on here?
He must have disconnected somehow.
Somebody's, just a minute, just give me a minute.
That's all right. You're experiencing technical difficulties.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, what happened here was, okay, I shouldn't have done that. No, I was hearing my...
Your presentation, right?
No, sorry.
Okay. Well, you're doing a great explanation, but I had some questions along the way, and I wasn't able to ask you the questions.
Yes, I'm sorry. No, what I did is, because I hear my Skype is on another machine, where this thing is running.
Okay.
So I was hearing the delayed echo, so I thought I was being smart about it. I turned the volume off.
Ah, I gotcha.
And I missed you. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I turned back on. Okay.
Okay. So hopefully we're not talking in delay. You're replying to me right away, so I appreciate that.
Go ahead. Ask your question.
Okay. Well, we're going to back up a little bit.
Okay,
so, you with me? Did I lose you again? I'm hearing scratching.
Sorry.
Okay. The screen that you have up now, the ES. Yes?
What about now?
I can hear you fine.
Yes.
Okay. The screen you have up now.
Yes.
Is the 5-minute ES.
Yes.
All right. Number one, I just want to let folks know that in case they were trying to find those crosses on their own computers, so they could take note of that.
It shows 5-minute right here at the top.
Well, that window is slid off the top of the screen. Remember I said to keep your window within the parameters of the other window.
Okay.
There you go. So now everyone can see that.
Okay.
And your moving averages, just to be clear, because I had some people asking me in private messages, they're 8 and 30, and it's an EMA or a simple?
They're both EMAs.
They're both EMAs. Okay. Just want to make sure everyone's got that understood. And when you were talking about the the two long candles that you have those arrows on, and that's an excellent example of how following very, very basic rules you can easily hurt yourself. My question is whether or not you would set a bot to follow that trade on a 1-minute candle, and would it have a different result?
Yes, it will have a different result. I was just going to show that in a little while.
Okay.
I was going through that. I didn't want to change the time period. I did mention it, but I was going to come back to that.
Good.
In a little while after. But remind me in case I forget.
No problem. I just wanted to get a couple of those questions answered before we got too far along, and people will end up falling too far behind in trying to understand what you're doing here. So now the yellow line that you had added in, which moving average was that?
That was 50 period.
The 50 period. And if you don't mind, I was trying to get your attention and didn't hear you explain why you were showing the 50 period.
Okay.
So if you could just repeat that part of it, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, the first thing is this 80-30 cross example I have taken is quite arbitrary. It was just because some people use it in the room, trading room. So it has got really, I could have taken 16 something or anything. It's not really relevant.
Okay.
So if our first criteria is the cross here, then the question is, how can we do this, eliminate this kind of a situation where the crosses are, which are, I call sort of false positives. They are right crosses, but they are a disaster to get into a trade kind of that. So what might enter a condition like a trend? So you have to be able to define what is a trend. So for that you might have something like 50 period moving average, that I will take the cross, but I will go long only after if the price is above the 50 period moving average, which means the trend is up.
Okay.
If the trend is down, for example, here the trend is down, here is a cross. There is a cross. Oops. On this cross, the trend is the 50 period moving average. If I use that as my trend criteria, then I'll say, okay, it's okay to take a short here. So one can add another condition to the bot. So bot doesn't just have one condition, okay, 830 cross. One can put other conditions on top of that to make it, to refine it. The objective being to get better entries and to avoid getting chopped up, because one can easily get chopped up in situations. Here is a chop. I hope you guys can see it, but here is a chop.
Running up above that pivot, above the moving averages, and then right back down.
This is, what do you do here?
Yeah. Well, if you're already in a trade, you can maybe exit it if you'd like, but.
Well, that's the trade management. I'm just talking about the
direction.
Cost is the kind of thing, but one has to do something about how to get in and how to get out.
Okay.
And since you brought this point up, as I look upon a bot, for me, bot is only for an entry, looking for an entry signal. And then on top of that, one has trade management, which can also be automated, and NinjaTrader has that feature. So once you enter the trade, then you don't care about what the bot is doing. Then once you are in a trade, you have an automatic trading strategy which manages your trade. And I could have things like, okay, I got an entry here, and I exit. I take a first scale. If I'm doing 2 contracts, let's say, I get out after the first contract after 4 ticks. and I use the second contract as a runner as far as possible, say, as long as it does not go beyond what my break-even point is, or something like that. So, but that's an automatic trade management, and that is how I, in a sense, trade. And if I were to succeed in making a bot for myself, I would be using the bot for trade entries only, not for exits, though you can obviously use the bot for exits also. It's very easy to do that, provide you know what you are doing. You know, you can enter and let it go there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I have a couple of lines here. About this point here, the circle, this was the low of this point here. Then there is, I need to go, I hope I haven't reduced it enough. Back here, okay. I think I reduced the number of days here. I need to get back to 10 days. Okay, 10 days, 10 days. Oh, come on. Okay. Looking for that red line, looking for that red line, looking for that red line, looking for that red line. Oops. Oh, there we are. Here is the cross, and this level is 1619.
Okay.
Right here is a cross, and it's an up cross and it goes up.
You have a date on that one?
This is on, I have a date on it, 5/8.
Okay.
At 9:45. So 9:45, 9:50. 9:50. 9:50 is an 5/8 when the cross took place on this 5-minute chart. And if somebody was just following the cross, it was a very good entry and was fine. I'm going to remove this one, which I don't need. Okay. Now, I'm going to get back to where I was. So I just wanted to show this point here, and now I'm going to get back to where I was here. Okay, here is that red line, 1619 from there. And this is the kind of thing Jay Golf does. So if I had drawn a line on 19, on the 5/8 on May the 8th, this line would be on my chart. And then I would not go wait for this cross, then I could potentially think that, okay, here is 830 cross and the price hasn't really come down to that. And it looks to be reversing from here. So instead of waiting these 4 points, letting them go by, I could be tempted to enter a cross trade here. If I were doing it manually, I could have, I see it, but I will have to, the computer doesn't know that, what am I going to do that? Here is a naked cross, but this is at 1950 and this is 2025, so how does one program that kind of thing? Okay, if there is a gap of 2 ticks, 4 ticks, then go long or short or whatever. So this is a kind of thing what you can do visually, very easily make a determination that you can go long here, but you cannot program that. That's a difficult part of it, and as I said, I hate losing those 4 points. I mean, I would love to get those 3 points out of those 4 points there. So that's this line. Now here is another line. What's that line doing this? Let's go back. I'm sorry, this was done a few days ago, so I don't know. Okay.
No, this is good.
But at least I had my lines and circles drawn so that I can... So here was another up cross here. I seem to have only tagged up crosses. Here's an up cross here. Pretty good move, actually. Not bad. So this is the kind of thing when people see, they get tempted. Oh, 830 cross, perfect trade here, but doesn't always work. And here is all this 830. You see this flat line here?
Yes, that's
this is
probably after hours, right?
So, maybe it won't trade it because it'll get chopped up. It will be nowhere kind of thing, trade. So anyway. I'm not going to go there. I will go back to here. What was the thing with the orange line? Oops. Going back to orange line. Where is my marker? Okay, here we are. So this is the naked cross from, having seen a cross here, this is the naked cross from whatever days, and manually I could say, okay, I have another line here. So as long as the price stays above this line, I'm good. So I'm just pointing it out to show that there is a lot that one can do visually when you are there watching the trades, draw the lines, oblique lines, straight lines, triangles, wedges, whatever, W's, inverted W's.
Mm-hmm.
But all that, a lot can be programmed, but it's not always that easy to program everything, and that's why everybody does not have a bot.
All right, but it's still possible. There's
It is possible.
still a level
there are
of
some people who use it. As not promoting him, but Doc Speed thinks he has a bot running and he's got himself a site.
Okay.
So, and there are other people also. There is another place which I joined a long time ago. Occasionally they send me email. I think it's Collective 2.
All right.
And they have lots of bots there. Lots and lots of bots. And some they lease. And some, most of the time, they want you to lease them through your broker so that the trade is generated, but it's executed at your broker. You don't have the code to do it. They do that and they get commission and all those things.
Okay.
And they post all these fancy equity curves, which are phenomenal, but I sort of have managed to stay away from those things because they show backtest results and things like that. I view those things with suspicion. So that is this part of it. Now there was a question of time frames. Okay, let's change the time frame here. Let's see what we can do. Let's go to, do I have a 2 minute? Let's go to 2 minute here. That's easy. Okay. Now the cross here, first cross was somewhere in this region, and now it has come down here.
All right, so let's just back up for a second. You're talking about the 5-minute chart has a cross.
Yeah.
And so your circles are carried over from the 5-minute chart.
Yeah, those circles are manual draws. They have nothing to do with the lines.
Okay. So now we're looking at a 2-minute chart.
Now we're looking at a 2-minute chart.
And if you set the bot to take the trade or take the entry on the 5-minute candles, then you probably were getting an entry.
I couldn't do that.
What do you mean?
The bot is going to detect something. Oops. The bot is going to detect this. That is the thing. This here, it's going to detect this as a crossover. I mean, it makes, from the point of bot, what difference does it make? You know, you detect the cross on a 2-minute and take it on a 5-minute.
Well, I think it makes a big difference.
How so?
Well, that's when you get into backtesting. If you're going to create a bot that says when you have the cross on a 5-minute chart, and then you run your backtest to see how many times that was a successful trade versus an unsuccessful trade.
Yes.
And then you can add additional parameters as necessary. If you reran that same exact scenario with a 2-minute cross, you're going to get a different result of success.
Yes, I know.
Failure.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, that's what
I agree. That you will get a different result.
Okay.
So you got a different entry now here. That's what I'm saying. You will definitely get a different result.
Okay.
But here is the problem. If you keep decrease the time frame, you get more of a chop. You have to refine. You have to get those things. Let me see if I can get it do something else.
Well, you're talking about chop, and I think that speaks to the other parameters that you could program the bot to do, which is to consider an uptrend or a downtrend.
Yeah, I'm just showing what the nuances are. I'm not, of course, all that is possible. if I were to use, I prefer using something like these are still this is a tick-based chart, 1000 tick chart. The noise sort of because it has so many only transactions it does. See what happens here. This
Yeah,
was that
I like to see where your hours are. That's pretty good.
is the 5 hour thing. I mean, sorry, that those 5 minute bars,
Mm-hmm.
which was a total disaster kind of a thing.
Right.
Well, this doesn't look, because this 5 minute bar is a bar. When a computer computes, it's waiting for a bar to finish,
Right.
and a lot can happen in a 5 minute.
Right.
So something like this, I just took arbitrarily 1000 tick.
Right.
It gives you handles that in a much better way.
So I would think that would be a more preferable.
Yes, I would
Time
definitely. I would never use a 5 minute on a bot. I would never use 5 minutes. And the theory behind the bot would be the faster you get in, the the better off you are. The optimized entry is what makes it work. And the question is, how do you get that optimized entry? And moving average is perhaps not the best thing. Is there something else like change in volume? People go with Bollinger Bands, squeeze, they voluntarily contract. There are all kinds of algorithms. People do fancy things, but I'm not going to talk about that.
Can you program a bot to consider those factors?
Yeah. Yes.
How about stochastics?
Yes.
MACD?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a MACD. I will show you an example of MACD in a minute. I put this MACD here for a reason, and I'll show it to you.
Okay.
So, but you see how this helps tremendously. And 5 minute is a total disaster. But if I was trading a tick chart, at least that region of 15 minutes, 10:38, 9:50 to 10:30, well, half an hour, 40 minutes. It looks pretty decent. There's a cross here, not too bad, and there is an exit here. Worked very well. Would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of things when one mix of and one has to optimize this thing. It would really depend on strategy to strategy. For somebody's swing trading, if somebody is running a bot over days kind of thing, 5 minute may be okay. Might be running it over 60 minutes. So it's not necessarily, but for a day trader like me who is scalping 2 points or 3 points and hoping it runs to 8 points, that will be a good day, and I have time to go and sleep for 2 days. So that's the thing here. Okay, let me go back to my 5 minute thing, because this is compress it. 5 minute. On my profile chart that I actually use volume bars. I don't use minute bars. So let me go to here. Okay, so we are back here. All right. So that was sort of the general thesis of what is on the board, but this was specifically where one has to draw the lines and all those things. But I want to show something else here, slightly different strategies. Well, the same strategy. If I were not drawing the lines, if I were just taking long certain shots based on this, there is something like this I could do. Where is this? No. Okay. Now, instead of having too many lines, this might give a better perspective. See, now I see at once the too many crosses here, and that's not a good thing. This is a good cross up here, chop here, chop. Well, these are evening hours, so oops. Hey, I lost my chart. Oh, yes, I need to. Okay, sorry. So one can, these are also the same strategy. So program one can effectively wherever there's a bar, it's basically, I can replace that. Instead of saying draw the bar there, I can say go long, enter long. So there isn't that much of a difference between drawing a line there or drawing, entering a trade there. I could do things like, let me show you another thing. I will count line false, true. These are strategies which I've already configured just to save time. All right. Okay. So instead of bands now I have regions of long and short. So when this thing is up, so I don't have to be looking at the lines. Here it's cross, you can see that also, but all this thing is green. So long as it's green, I'm long. Here you get chopped up, but then it goes green again here. This is all, while this is red, I stay short. This is the night hour, so night hours are iffy, but sometimes there are trades at night also. So one can have this kind of a fancy picture kind of thing, so that you don't always have to be staring at the bars, looking at the bars and reading kind of thing. You can do it for manual trading also. But the same thing as the people do this thing, but they don't use the bot. But if you can do this thing, you can, then think of making a bot also. But this helps visually here. Now, come to MACD. Okay. Here's another strategy. This is the standard MACD 12.26.9. And
Okay.
people use, MACD crossovers for longs and shorts. So here, from MACD point of view, it's a long here, but then this gets into trouble. Whereas from the crossover point of view, you are long. Whereas from the MACD perspective, you will be out of your long and maybe you will try to go short here. So this gives another reason to where you can not have just a single criteria, just the MACD. You might want to incorporate multiple criteria to get a better output. Now, if I were to do something to this MACD, let's see what I can do this MACD here. MACD apply. All right. Anybody know math? 12 threes are 36.
Yep.
26 is what's it's 78.
3 26s.
And 27. All right. So I changed it 3 times. Change the basic MACD to 3 times. Okay. I should change this thing also here. That I changed that in the strategy, but not. Let me change it here. 12 is what was it? 36, 78, 27. This is the physical MACD that is on the chart. Okay. Voila. See how beautiful it looks?
Aha.
So I got 2 things here. I got a cross here, and I got a MACD here. But it's not the standard MACD. It's now 3 times the MACD. So effectively 5 threes. What you can say is, what's this? So if I had 1260 at the standard MACD on a 15-minute period, and I brought it down to a lower time frame like 5 times 15 is, 5 goes into 15 3 times. So effectively this is now plotting a 15-minute MACD on a 5-minute chart. I think my math is correct, so I won't go into that. But anyway, I just changed the MACD parameters and I think I get a much better picture here. Now, here's the thing. Here is a chop here, MACD is short here, and this thing is choppy here. So one could, again, just illustrating that one could use one or, I mean, more than one indicator sets or criteria to get the thing. Here is something happened here. In this uptrend, something went wrong here. But MACD didn't have a problem. So one could have just been in this trade despite this bump here, depending on what one's exit strategy is. So that's the other part of it. What am I doing for time? Okay. Now I think I think I'm done with this part of it. I have one more thing to show, but
okay.
But as to what the bots do, this is a visual representation of that. But anything that is, I can combine these two, and I said, things like go long and then do the trade management. Just
right.
Wanted to illustrate different aspects of it. But I like this picture. Maybe I will write it up.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. The one last thing I have to show is, do I have, what is this? Strategy analyzer. Where is my paper? I have a strategy. I see. What is this strategy called? THA reversal. I don't know whether this is but I can all entries by strategy. I hope it. Alright, select ES, select ES. Where is ES? ES is here. Let's see whether this how it comes out. Came out alright. Alright, this is the back test of it. I never know with this thing.
Okay, so this is your strategy analyzer.
This is a strategy analyzer.
Part of NinjaTrader, right?
For NinjaTrader, yes.
Okay.
And what I would, unfortunately, is it edit plus minus? There's no drawing tool here? All right. That's why I prefer the other way of doing TeamViewer, because I have control over graphics. Okay.
I'm sorry, you want me to zoom in? I could zoom in.
Anyway, people can read it. I don't know how well people can read it. This has 2,185 trades total. Winning trades, losing trades, and % profitable. Now that would be the kind of great strategy. And I do have this strategy, but I'm not using it. Okay. Not bad. 120,000. Total net profit 120,000. And this goes back to, I don't know, what was the date on this? Is I think from January 1st of this year. Let's see, January 1st of the year. This is it also produces the chart of long, short, wherever it went long and short.
Mm-hmm.
This is what, if you were to look at what I said, collective, people always post their equity, back-tested equity curve.
Mm-hmm.
So when I made this like that, I didn't sleep for 3 days. I said I found the Holy Grail.
Right.
That was not the case.
Yeah.
Things can be very, very deceptive in that sense, back testing and having a strategy, but there are all the things and charts. Are there any graphs? This is not what I wanted. Periods, trades, no periods, no executions, no graphs. Yeah. Long, short, something else I was going to share.
Well, let's answer a couple questions that have come up. Number one is...
Sorry, I'm not...
No, that's all right. That's what you got me here for. So one question was asking which bot it is you're using. Now, it was my understanding from earlier in the conversation that you weren't actually running a bot. So are you running a bot or you're not running a bot?
No, I'm not running a bot.
Okay.
Okay, here is the thing. Yes, I am running a bot, and no, I'm not running a bot.
That's what I thought.
A bot is a strategy. As I said, let me push it here. What this strategy is doing, it's taking the cross over, moving across and painting it green here, where it is long. So literally what I would do in a trade is this cross I will replace with go long, enter long here. So to that extent, it's a bot. It's not doing any trades now. But it is, the line there is paint this thing, green, and it will be enter long. That's one line difference in the bot. It's the same thing. And if I were in conjunction running a MACD with that, it will say, okay, this is a long here and this is a long here. It will flag this till both are crossed, because they may not happen on the same bar. So I'll have to say, okay, this crossed here, this crossed here. And then it will go say, okay, now I got confirmation. This crossed over and MACD crossed over. It could happen 2 bars later, but then you have to worry about that. Are you going to do it in 2 bars? Can you wait 3 bars, 5 bars, whatever? And then it will go long. It's basically a strategy. So you can think it's a bot or it's not a bot.
Well, is it a strategy that you are running in an automated way? Kumar?
It's running there. I mean, how do you mean am I running it in an automated way?
Well, you say you have the strategy.
Yes.
And you say it's a bot, but then you say you're not using the bot.
No. Okay.
You're using the strategy, but you're not using the bot.
No, if I were to use this as a bot, I would say enter long here, and it would be done.
Right.
So the bot would be running, but it wouldn't be doing anything.
Okay.
It would be done. It would have exited the trade by somewhere.
Right.
So I'm missing something here.
Okay.
What I have, you can call it a bot, or bot is only ultimately a strategy to trade. And what I have in the strategy,
a bot is more than a strategy to trade. A bot is a strategy to trade that's programmed into software that's tied to your account and placing the trades automatically.
Yeah, but that is what I'm saying. What I do not have a line there is enter long. All I need to do is, if I like the strategy, is to say, okay, trade that thing by enter long there. All right, let me show it to you. So
are you using this automated strategy to automatically execute your trades?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not using any of the bots.
Okay. This is what some of the users or the members are asking.
Okay. For example, this. Now this is a okay.
Slide that down a little bit.
All right. This is a strategy. Okay, let's call it. This what have I shown here? I cannot backtest this because I have not put a trade there.
Okay.
What I have backtested is another strategy that I have, which actually has in the code enter trade on whatever the conditions I have put in that strategy.
Okay.
So that's the thing. There's some strategy I call KKBTHA reversal.
Right.
So that has an actual code in it, enter long. So this does not have code to say enter long. And I did this over 2 days ago, just to illustrate the principle. But beyond that, there isn't really much of a difference here. Let's see tools. I don't know. Edit, script, strategy. What am I doing here? Fisher. You see, I have all kinds of strategies here.
Oh yeah.
Don't work on various. There are various things. Some are working. I mean, some have trades in them. Some do not have trades in them. What was I doing? EMA cross. Oh, okay. Okay. View code.
Okay. So there's code tied to this strategy.
There is this code tied to this strategy. It's saying if EMA short period is greater than, or this is cross above or greater than equal to EMA long period, paint the background dark green.
Right.
And then the other one is the inverse of that. If it is, while it is less than that, painted fire brick. And what I will do is, I will, in a strategy, if I were to convert this thing, I will change this line here, enter long.
Right. By one contract.
Let me show you that also. Oh, where am there?
Hello, Russell.
Let me show you that. Let me show you that. Let me
Yeah,
show-
Vester, it's Ninja Trader.
Okay, sorry. All right. Add. Oops, not here. Sorry. Wait, this is slow.
So while you're doing that, I wanted to ask you.
This is condition builder. I need to go here. Trade order management. All right. Okay, let's do simple enter long position. Okay, and go here and add. Enter short position. Okay. Compile. And get rid of this. Oops, view code. Sorry. Okay. See where it was?
Yep. Yep. It just added that condition, so it'll color this chart as well as enter a trade.
Yeah. So that's all. That's what I was saying to say. Now I can run this, I can backtest it, I can do whatever with it. I mean, this is a very primitive way of putting an enter long kind of thing, but I just wanted to show that there isn't any gap that I'm trying to, how they trying to sweep anything under the carpet kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's all. Literally, it is. I'm pointing my finger at the screen, which you can't.
It's okay. I feel your presence. I feel it. Well, listen, I don't think any conversation about bot trading is complete unless we get input from our own Dr. Gass. So if it's all right with you, I'd like to bring him in.
Sure.
To join the conversation. And so, Gass, I don't know.
Can I just show one more thing before?
Please. Your screen is broadcasting, so show what you'd like.
Yeah, just one more, then I'm done. This is the number of trades here, which is all whatever it does in backtest. But here is something called slippage. Now I'm going to change that slippage from 0 to 2, for example, and I'm going to run that backtest again. And that percent profitable dropped from 91% to 39%. Because when you backtest, you know, without any slippage and all those things in real world, you don't get fills and all those things. So strategies or bots need to be optimized in some way. So that was, I just wanted to show that it's not always that. So what was a profit of $120,000 went down by accounting for 2 ticks slippage, it went down to 14,000, which is not bad, but between 120,000 and 14,000, that's a lot of difference.
And I'm sure there's a way to tighten that up even further.
Yeah. So you know, I'm just showing, was just illustrating the nuances of what it takes to sort of, when you backtest and things like that, there are a lot of things that go into it.
Okay.
And that's why everybody doesn't have a bot. You know, we would all love to have a bot trade for us, and we can all be at reach anyway. So
you're listening to Briguy's Tools of the Trade here with Kumar, talking about Autobot trading, and we have joining us now also live from the interweb is Dr. Gass. Are you there, Dr. Gass?
Hello, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And I'm actually running this through a different app than I usually am, so if the voice sounds a little different, let me know. Kumar, are you able to hear Dr. Gass?
Yeah.
Test.
Yes, sir?
I hear you, Bri.
Okay.
Oh, can you not hear me?
I hear it.
Okay, hear you now. Okay, good. So, Dr. Gass, I know you stepped away for a little bit, but Kumar did a really nice job explaining some of the things you can do with a bot and some of the methods that he uses for his own strategies and whether or not they could be easily transferred into a bot, whereas you might have trades, for example, that you get in a little bit too late. If you program the bot to take the trade, maybe the trade's already over by the time you get into it. And you probably just heard him talking about slippage. So is there any perspective you wanted to share on this?
Yeah, I actually caught the very first bit of it. Then I had to go check on a neighbor.
And Kumar, your thing is on the broadcast if you want to move that.
Oops, sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
All right, so Kumar, thanks for coming on. I'm enjoying your enthusiasm about learning about automated trading. It's a process. You're absolutely right when you say that what you want to do is you want to take your manual human instincts in trading and put the math down so that the computer can make those decisions for you, and that's really the key to the whole thing, right? And you're absolutely right that the computer program doesn't have fuzzy logic. In other words, you have to say, if this happens, do X. If this happens, do Y. And there's no thinking, for the program. At least generally, most strategies
at some level.
are not
adaptive. There is fuzzy logic, but at some level, it has to be do this or do that.
Right. And one of the things that after doing a lot of this coding, I found that you just have to, roll up your sleeves and write the code, make it work the way you want it to work, and then you got to go back and see how it works, back testing, and then the ultimate test is to run it forward with real live trades.
Yes.
Yeah, slippage involves, just to clarify, I guess some questions are coming up. Slippage involves market orders, because you don't know exactly where you're going to fill. Limit orders have no slippage, obviously, but then there's the question of would they have filled. That's always
that's you can have limit orders, but they may not fill.
Correct. But then if you have slippage, you have to know your instrument, either whether you're trading thin stock or something like Apple that or let's say Ford, for example. I mean, with Ford, you're going to really have no slippage because there's so many bids and asks at those levels that you're going to get filled on a market order. So it all depends on, your settings are obviously the results are sensitive to the settings, but you have to know your instrument.
Well, that is what I was saying, that when one writes these things, it's one thing to sort of, in a sense, this is the simplistic view of it, but ultimately you have to optimize it, and that optimization is dependent on the instrument. You cannot just take one thing and say, okay, I run it on ES, now I'm going to run it on 6E, because they can, sometimes they may work, but sometimes may not work.
Right. And the other thing is, I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that there's entry strategies and there's exit strategies. They don't necessarily depend on the same signals. Now you can write strategies that reverse, based on your indicators reversing on you. But a lot of times your entries become anchors, is the way I like to look at it. In other words, once you're in a trade, I consider that an anchor. So now you're set at some level, whether you're long or short, it's immaterial. But then you have to decide how you want to exit the trade. So you can have entirely separate entry and exit orders, or strategies, excuse me.
Oh, that's totally true. I mean, one doesn't have the same set of conditions. And what I did mention in the show here is my way strategy is I'm trying to figure out a bot to optimize my entry, and I want to manage my exits by a trade management strategy differently. I don't want to use the I want to control my trade management. For that, I have one auto trading strategy, which is a different thing altogether. But you are right. One can have different kinds of conditions for entries and exits. It doesn't have to be even the same indicator.
And I'll ask you a trivia question, but it's only got two answers, so you got a 50% chance.
You are a trivia master. Did you try to start trivia yesterday?
It doesn't matter right now. Who cares at this point? I'm sorry, I'm quoting Hillary Clinton. Excuse me for that. But what do you think's more critical, your entry or your exit?
My entry.
No.
I'm not worried about my exit. I'm worried about the entries.
Yeah, from my experience writing code, I think the exit strategies have a lot more to do with success than the entries. I know it seems counterintuitive,
right.
but
I've not reached that stage. I could come to the same conclusion, but I've not reached that stage.
So you're relatively new in writing code, am I accurate?
No, I've written code off and on for 50 odd years. Well, not 50,
wow, okay.
A long time.
You have classes I can attend?
Well, coding, but not bot coding, right?
No, but the problem is I had no contact with C# now, but that really is not a C# or any other language. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take that much time to get to know C#, but the NinjaTrader platform, all those things. You want to draw a box. What are the takes that platform. Learning is too much. You have to fish for everything. Okay, I have to draw a line. I want to set its transparency. I want to set its color. Then I want to change its color. What does NinjaTrader have for that? Which has got nothing to do with C#. So learning a language is not a problem. And dealing with the structure of a language is easy, but it's what is there in the NinjaTrader, and their help is not so helpful.
I will say one thing, though. The nice thing about running an automated strategy is it takes a lot of the emotion out of it. I mean, I experienced that today.
Yes.
I ran the gas. I worked part of the day, but I ran the gas bot, and it got into two trades that I hated. And lo and behold, they worked out.
Yeah, no, that's what I have two ideas. I want to be doing other things. I want to get myself out of this thing. It seems so intuitively one should be able to write a reasonable bot. One doesn't have to make millions of dollars, but one should be able to scalp a few $100 a day and be done with it without having to sit there all day long. So,
and that's why I don't mean to plug the gas bot, but one of the things I built into that was a daily pain and a daily, I call it max pain, where once I've lost a certain amount, I'm done. And then I also have a daily profit goal. And the theory there is that that's akin to what a prop desk might do with somebody. Say, look, you got this much to lose on the day, and you make this much, and you should be done. Call it a victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and gas actually, by all means, please promote the gas bot. That's definitely primary on my mind when Kumar first asked me about doing this show. We definitely want to get around to mentioning the gas bot. We already posted the link in the room, and I forget exactly how to get that to show up. Did I do it right? I think I did it right. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. I appreciate that, but I will say this though, that writing and running strategies for over 5 years now, actually maybe closer to 7. I find that certain strategies work in certain periods and then they stop working. So the market changes. And I think FT was on, I don't know, maybe a month ago, just saying that the market has changed. We've seen huge directional moves. So, a counter-trending strategy has been more difficult, I can tell you that, this year than it was last year. Last year was almost laughably easy. A lot more difficult this year.
Gas, I got someone asking a question about, and I'll read you how he asked the question. I'm not exactly sure what is being asked, so if maybe I'm the dummy. how does gas spot work over the long haul, risking more than the profit target? Now, I don't know if that means changing the strategy and then re-backtesting it or what, but...
No, I think what he's saying, what the question is asking is, how do you look for such small profit targets when you take a hit that's larger?
Okay.
Right? I think that's the question. And the concept there being is that, many times you need to give trades some room, and eventually they will work out. But when you're counter trending, it's hard to get, the absolute, pick the bottom, pick the top, right? So what it does is it benefits with, the small retracements that occur constantly during the day. But, when you get a very directional market, you could be in it, and then boom, next thing you know, you're a point or two out of your profit area, and it just never gets back there. So what I did for that was I actually developed. I'm not going to get too far into the gas spot, but I developed a timed exit strategy, and then I added to that a momentum. It's called Angle, but it's actually in the forums if people are interested. But I basically went away from just the the hard nose. Either I'm going to lose X number of dollars, or I'm going to make X number of ticks. So I've actually made it more of a smart strategy now.
Okay. And you know what? There was somebody in the room. I don't want to call him out unless he wants me to. I don't mind saying his name, but I don't like calling people out too much. And he just kind of countered the suggestion that you would quit while you're ahead, so to speak. And why wouldn't you just keep at the trade if you are being successful at it? And it's the Limey is the one who's saying it. He said it was all right for me to say who it was. So the Limey was kind of saying, he disagrees. He feels like if you're successful, you should just keep going at it. Now I've got my opinion about it, but what have you found, Gas, in your research?
Well, one of the things I noticed at certain times, you were taking on more and more risk as you traded later in the session. In other words, you were exposing yourself to taking a large hit because the market got a lot more directional, as we got, after 1 o'clock, after 2 o'clock, certainly after 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're able to make your goal for the day and be out of danger, because any time you take a position, you're in danger, right? So my thinking was that many days it's good to be out of the market, because what happens a lot of times is that people are trapped. Either they're trapped long or they're trapped short, and human nature, if you're a day trader, is to stay in it, hoping and hoping and hoping, and then all of a sudden, as the market starts to get closer and closer to the close, these people that are wrong and have been wrong for the last hour or two or three, all of a sudden they start, throwing the towel, and that adds fuel to the fire, whether we're going up or whether we're going down. And if you're trapped with them, then what you do is expose yourself to taking a large loss.
Okay.
I hope that makes sense.
Well, I think it did for most. Myself, I'm a little distracted because I'm reading through some of the comments. So,
right.
But this is for the members, so I'm glad you're able to explain that.
But I kind of wanted to focus a little bit more on Kumar and what he's doing with his strategies. Mm-hmm. I think that Kumar, just if I can make a suggestion, I think what you want to do to develop your automated strategies is spend more time taking a single idea and putting it to code, getting it to run, and seeing how it back tests and what results you have, and then building on that instead of having multiple different ideas and theorizing. The most important thing for you to do is to actually sit down and write the code and make it run, and then you learn from each one of those experiences.
Okay, well, thanks. But that's kind of thing what I do all day long. I look at the charts and see how the patterns may translate and what kind of things might work. And then I go and on time available basis, I code that, run it, and see how it works. And if it seems reasonable, then I will run it during the day on a simulator and see how that performs. And if that doesn't perform well or for a few days, then I say, okay, that didn't work out. Throw the idea, let's go back to the drawing board and see what else, I sort of learn from each thing in a sense. Okay, this.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say that's exactly right. You wanna do those exercises so you learn.
Yeah, I do them all the time. Didn't I show you my things? Oh, maybe you missed this thing.
I do apologize. I was
no.
gone for a good chunk of your
You see
your
this?
talk.
Can you? Oh, it might show. Am I still on there?
Yeah, you're good. You're right where you are. It's fine.
See, these are all strategies which I have not deleted, and I don't even know what they are.
Are you saying they're ones that you downloaded or ones that you've been programming?
No, the ones I've been programming.
Okay.
Just little bits. And they are little ideas. Nothing is perfect, but they are little ideas how well they work. And eventually, when I think those little ideas work, then I might be able to, as Gas was saying, you have one strategy for exit and you have another strategy for entry. They could be different things. It doesn't have to be 830 cross.
Right.
So you look at different components, and then at some point in time, I expect that I'll be able to take these little gadgets, little pieces of code, and put them together, and maybe have something working.
Mm-hmm. So somebody asked in the room whether you were able to track your stats of your automated trades.
Yes.
Measuring performance over time.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, but I am not going to share any of that. The best I can share is the backtest things. I can open another strategy and see if it is still working, and try to backtest. I had to find this strategy which seemed to work because they are in different states of disrepair kind of thing. I may have tinkered with something and not fixed it, and then the backtest doesn't work. So over the weekend, I had to figure out I needed one strategy so that I could at least demonstrate the backtest and the slippage that impact it has with it. So I found one, and I said, okay, there is something that is working. But obviously, I showed one backtest, but then it's by default seems to come from January 1st of this year. But I run it for going back 2 years. And then 2 years, and then I will run it on a weekly basis or a monthly basis and see what kind of variation there is. So I do study those things. But
so
that's beyond.
Kumar, I'm sorry. What's your most exciting idea at the moment?
What's my exciting? The one I like what I see here. What is wrong with this picture?
I'm not sure what we're looking at.
We're looking at...
I saw your mouse move, but the screen didn't change.
You saw my... Oh, I'm okay. Sorry, it moved to that. No, this is... Okay, this... yeah. No, this is what this is. Basically, it has 8, which was... I was illustrating with a MACD.
Oh, you mean this green and red chart you have now?
Yeah, the same screen. I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Sure.
So, Gas, I don't know if you were on when he was setting this up, but this is the 5-minute candle chart, and on the MACD, he altered the time frames to kind of mimic a 15-minute period.
Okay.
And beyond that, I don't know what to add.
Well, the only way to make a 5-minute chart a 15-minute chart is to skip data.
No, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing the skip data, though. Which is very easy to do, and I don't want to go into that. One can have 2 different data series on the same chart and make one invisible. That's very easy to do if one were to, do that kind of thing. But there's no point seeing 2 data series in that sense. I just changed the parameters of. I basically took this MACD and multiplied whatever its input is by 3, and that's all I did. Just to show, because if I took the standard MACD, it was not lining up, and this is today's price action. I didn't even know what was going to happen. So I just multiplied it by 3, and just to show that parameters need to be optimized. They can be optimized, and one has to work on those things. That was the illustration of this, and it so happened in this case, this 830 cross and MACD seemed to line up pretty good. So if somebody was following this one, they would have gotten it along visually also. But if somebody needed any kind of confirmation that this was good to be in a trade, so this was a pretty good day to be in a long trade.
In your backtesting, Kumar, what's the number of contracts that you're trading?
I just use default one contract.
Okay.
On this one, I just use one contract.
Yeah, what's the instrument?
This was for ES. Okay. I only have not done anything with any other instrument. I am only staying with, till I get somewhere, I figure out something which I find acceptable and will prove itself in simulation for an extended period of time. Till then, it's no point trying to jumping from one place to another. As you say, you have an idea, you have to get through with that idea and sort of before one jumps on to something else.
I do find that the NQ is a lot more directional than the ES. So for my NQ trades, I try and look for larger profit targets.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that tight stops on the NQ are really fool's errand because they just get taken out. Period.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know. I think Limey had a question about the stops here. I don't know how we got. I mean, what's the question about the stops? Where did he go? Where did Limey go?
Well, I guess he's asking about your entry and exit.
What's your
risk per trade? He asks.
Yeah. I have not reached that stage of what my risk per trade is and all kind of those are things that I'll worry about later on. I first need to figure out. I first need to have something that works in the plain, simple way. Okay, I got one contract here. Does it do what it's supposed to do? Then one can add on to those things. I have not reached that stage of risk per trade and all those things. That would be an add-on at a later point. I mean, as I said, this was just basically not a thesis on strategy or bots. It was just presenting to people, what kind of things one thinks of when one goes into making strategies, and the fact that remains that it is not that easy to construct a bot. Otherwise, we would all be trading with bots. We wouldn't be doing this kind of a thing.
By the way, Kumar, you can make live stream videos and post them in the forum. It's a way for you to share your ideas. There's a whole section in the forums that I've had a number of videos posted for people to see about automated trading strategies. You can post code. So the forums are a great place to share.
Yes, I understand that. But this was my first attempt. It somehow, maybe you missed the introduction. It was just people were have been talking about bots, and somebody says, hey, can you make me a bot? So it happened on Friday. I got the idea, and then Saturday I mentioned to Briguy, hey, I've been looking at these things. I can just give an introduction to how the bots work or what goes into it. It's just a preliminary kind of a thing. So there was nothing very supposed to be anything.
Well, it's a whole new way to trade, that's for sure. And it's actually ideal for people that work.
Yes.
It's not necessarily for people that are in front of the monitors all day.
No, I want to make one and sell it to Briguy. He's my first client.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, well, listen, Briguy, thanks for having me on. I got a couple kids there I got to feed.
All right, yes.
My first two clients are Briguy and RPM. They're so busy, so I need to give, they will be my first two clients.
Okay, well then, I hope you have insurance on this business.
Well, you won't come
all right,
to me because
thanks, Gas.
I hope I added a little bit to the conversation.
Thank you, Dr. Gass.
Appreciate it.
You're both welcome, guys. All right, take care, all members. I'll see you all in the room.
Okay. All right, that was Dr. Gass, and we thank him for joining in on the conversation here. So, Kumar, another question that came up, and I figure out which tab I'm on. Oh, yeah, when it comes to programming the bots, do you find that there's a better instrument to trade with a bot than maybe another instrument? Or is it more tied to what your personal experience is?
Well, Dr. Gass just said that he finds NQ a better instrument in some form. But I've not gone that far because I need to have something working on one instrument. And for whatever reason, I have chosen ES. Maybe it would have been better to choose NQ. But anyway, so that's besides the point. So till I get one thing going and workable, it's no point my looking at anything else. So
Gotcha.
That's where I am. I want something to be working on ES first, and then we'll see where I go from there.
Okay. Well, if you have anything else you want to add, or any of the members out there have any more questions they'd like to ask?
I'm done. But people can always, if they don't have a question, and they can think later on. I belong to that category of sell in May and go away kind of thing. So where are we? Are halfway through May. So we're getting very close to sell in May and go aways kind of thing.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, Kumar, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Really appreciate it.
Anytime.
And we'll see you around the...
And
Yep.
Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. Appreciate it. And we'll come up with something else for another show, I'm sure.
All right.
All right, man.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So that was Mr. Kumar. And I'm just going to put the ES chart back up on the screen.
How do I get rid of this thing?
And I guess I should have just hung up on him instead of letting him figure that out. And that would be this screen right here. Okay. Close down our screen sharing thing. And thank you to Kumar, and also thank you, of course, to Dr. Gass for spending that time. And again, I don't have all of the different types of bots that are out there, but understand that there's at least two components you have to deal with. One is having the actual trading strategy programmed into the code of a bot. So whether it's trading an 830 cross, whether it's trading on a volume spike, whether it's trading on a time trigger, whatever those things are, you have to have the code or the strategy that gets translated into the actual code. Secondly is having the software to put that code on. And we've already been experiencing with Dr. Gass, of course, he's using TradeStation for the most part. And if I'm correct, I believe that is where the GasBot is showing on the screen, is a TradeStation platform. And then you have Kumar here, who is demonstrating some examples of using NinjaTrader for doing the same thing. And I saw some of the users in the room are Thinkorswim users, and there's actually a product from TDA called Prodigio, RTS, Remote Trading System, I think it is called. And if you send an email to your broker over there at TDA, then they will give you the access to Prodigio. And there's little caveats to subscribing to that, but Prodigio actually is designed to help folks who maybe are not familiar with using programming code, because it uses flowcharts. So you can actually just pick the boxes and the symbols and draw connecting arrows between them and say, you want, if this happens, then you want that to happen. If that happens, you want this other thing to happen. And then as you continue to connect the boxes, you can build a complex strategy over over the entire screen. Excuse me. And you can then be able to account for a myriad of scenarios that would work for you. Alright, so thanks guys for tuning in to Briguy's Tools of the Trade here on daytradingradio.com. We appreciate your attendance, and we'll see you on the next show. I'm going to turn off the broadcast now and bid you adieu.